Personally, okay, the way I'm kind of wired is that I can't just sit down on a dream. Like every day for me is a gift, and you have to maximize your potential within a day. And so, I'm one of those folks that I don't want to look back 5 years back and say I could have, should have, would have.
Little regret, right?
I cannot live with that.
Okay.
So the thought of regretting yesterday or 2 days or a week gets me going. And so that alone is enough for me to get me out of bed and get me to start taking steps towards my vision.
Hello, this is Marco Rock. Welcome to Marco Rock TV. My name is Marco Rock. I'm your host for Inside a Great Mind, where we interview entrepreneurs, achievers, game changer leaders for a purpose to inspire and inform you. Today on episode 69, got my friend Videgla Sekpe. What's up, my man?
Hey, how's it going, Marco?
It's
Long time no see.
Yeah, how are you?
Great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure.
Yeah.
So tell us, who's Videgla Sekpe?
Oh my goodness. Videgla, I just like to start with my proudest thing, which
First,
is my family.
before you tell me that, can you give me the meaning of your first name, Videgla, what it means?
Videgla, It's a word that means son of courage.
Son of courage.
Yes, that is in West African language.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I try to live up to, my dad, his expectations as far as, giving me that name.
Okay.
So I still, just a quick story. I just recount, how I ended up here in Nebraska, knowing nobody, showing up at, the bus station downtown, and it's like, okay, it does take some courage to go through this.
Yeah.
But today I call Nebraska Omaha home, so
Okay.
that's been kind of quite
Awesome.
my proudest accomplishment right now at this moment is being a father.
Yeah.
So I really, really enjoy that stage. I'm a father of 4 boys. I am an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I've been a corporate man for about 15 years.
Okay.
I've done all kinds of managerial position. I did work management, program management, engineering management, center of excellence management, and all these things. But just now for this year, I've kind of branched off and started doing my own thing as an entrepreneur now. So it's been an exciting journey.
Oh, okay. So like you just mentioned, you have a successful career, working as an engineer, being a manager and all those stuff. And then both you take a leap of faith or a jump, whatever you call it, into becoming an entrepreneur. What sparks that fire in you to switch? In the middle of all these things, people are like, hold to job, looking for a job, and here you are living, a great job, and venturing to become an entrepreneur.
That's a great question, Marco. Sometimes you just have to follow your gut, follow what's inside of you. Being a corporate man has been a dream of mine for a long time. But at some point in that journey, you get to that point where the hunger inside of you surpasses the reality that you live in. And when that happens, sometimes you have to either, stop that hunger inside of you somehow or follow it. And for me, I couldn't just see myself living and dreaming on a potential and not taking a leap of faith to put some action towards that. So I thought 2020 vision is a great year, and it just happened that way, and here I am.
Yeah. So beside a leap of faith, also what helped you or still help in decision making, or what step to take along the way?
Yeah, so it was not cold turkey. It was premeditated, should I say.
Okay.
So it's been kind of 3 years journey that I've been kind of planting the seed, in a sense that, I created my own LLC, started, taking some steps in that direction already. And, slowly but surely start building up a little bit to the point where now I'm a little bit more comfortable stepping into what I do now full time and leaving the old ship. So yeah, so it's calculated risk.
Yeah. So how do you get that confidence moving forward when you left, your good job and just a great job, moving forward on a path that's uncertain, right? Of course, an entrepreneur, like you don't know what's coming next, but what gives you that confidence moving forward?
That is an excellent question. I would say, every transition in some ways have something very scary about it. It is, it's like moving from what is comfortable to something that's extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But here is my philosophy around that, Marco. I gotta think about like my level of comfort. So anytime I'm growing too comfortable in something, right? In my corporate job, I felt like I knew everything on the back of my hand.
Okay.
And I've gotten to the point where I no longer was challenged.
So you feel like you have hit the ceiling?
I have hit the ceiling.
Okay.
In terms of my potential in what I was doing.
Okay.
And so that for me becomes a very scary place. Because that is a clear indication. It's like you're driving, you look at your dashboard and a light goes on. That's exactly what that is to me. When I'm starting being super comfortable, then I realize that, wow, okay, I've stopped growing and I need to take that next step that's gonna help me grow and continue to expand my potential. So that's exactly what's been for me.
So what do you tell somebody who is out there and aspiring entrepreneurs has a good career but want to move forward and become an entrepreneur?
Yeah. So if you're somebody who's sitting on the dream right now and you don't know how to take that step, I'd say if you want to go in a certain direction, start investing in books, podcasts, things that can feed you into the direction of your dream. Don't leave your daytime job right away, but with the mere fact that you are feeding your psyche and your mind in that direction, it will happen over time. So whether it's 2 years or it's 3 years, start doing that and it will start materializing. And so for me, it was just, hey, let's start with an LLC, got the LLC down. Okay, let's get the first deal, got the first deal down. And I still remember I'll leave my 8 to 5 job, come back, trade my my suit and tie for boots and jeans, and go out on a job site and start doing work from 9 to 10 o'clock, and then come back home and repeat. And that's what I did for a while. Until now, I'm just comfortable doing it. So I want to say to that person, do that, and start taking the smallest steps, even if it is just investing in knowledge and education about the direction of your dream.
Yeah, so you were leaving your job, doing the other side, I would just call it side job by then, and then which become like, your full gig right now as an entrepreneur. How do you keep that discipline in you? Because discipline is one that a lot of people struggle with.
Yeah.
How do you stay disciplined?
My answer to that would be, how do you not?
I mean, because it's not always easy for a lot of people. But
Yeah, so I don't know, but personally, okay, the way I'm kind of wired is that I can't just sit down on a dream. Like, every day for me is a gift, and you have to maximize your potential within a day. And so, I'm one of those folks that I don't want to look back 5 years back and say, I could have, should have, would have.
The regret, right?
I cannot live with that.
Okay.
So the thought of regretting yesterday or 2 days or a week gets me going. And so that alone is enough for me to get me out of bed and get me to start taking steps towards my vision.
Videgla, what makes you a great leader?
Marco, you have good questions. I want to say first that I'm learning in this journey of leadership. It's a road that has taught me a lot of humility about how to handle people, just because it is the most valuable asset, the greatest asset, and the value and the worth of a person. Whether it's a teammate, whether it's whoever. And so I think for me personally, those were some of the hard lessons For being, type of person as myself, I want to get the job done. I want to make sure things are done right on time. But when I got into that realization, it really changed my paradigm about leadership. How am I a great friend? How am I a great teammate? How am I a great person who is sacrificing the good of my personal being rather than having the good of the whole team, the good of the whole group. So those were the things that I would say that have changed my intrinsic motivation about leadership, which at the core now is centered around people and how to connect.
Awesome. Your company name is Mjenzi. Is that how do you pronounce
Mjenzi.
it? Mjenzi. Okay, so is this the silent A?
Silent A.
What does that mean? What is it? Where you get that name from?
Yeah, so Mjenzi is means builder in Swahili.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you know Jenga, it's the same word,
Okay.
And Mjenzi just it means mason or builder.
Builder.
I've done a lot of introspection about who I am, and my mindset is much more like a builder. I always think about foundation, how to set the foundation right. How deep is the foundation? Because the size of the foundation determines the height of the building. And the foundation is not seen. It's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of discipline, waking up and doing things that you need to do in order to come back to ground zero. And you don't know, like if you look at buildings all over the city, you don't know how deep the foundations are. So that's much more of my thinking. So I started applying that and knowing that I'm also a civil engineer and also in business, all these principles, I take them to the, my next level of thinking. And that's really why I felt like that was the most appropriate name for this company.
That's very amazing. So how would you define success?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So, being a futuristic person as myself, I'm always thinking, oh man, if you can just do this, if you can just do the next thing. Just over the last few years when I started really pondering on that, I also changed my perspective on that. Success for me today resides within a day. Success is within a day.
Okay.
And in that regard, I always measure myself at the effectiveness of my relationships and the amount of input, the amount of giving, so to speak, that I can do and that I can add to those relationships on a daily basis.
Did you do those evaluations before you go to bed, end of the day? Kind of go through the day, to see how you did and what you can improve, and that's how you prevent those measures.
Correct. So I absolutely. So that gets me centered. That gets me within the day. But don't get me wrong. I still have my my monthly plan, my yearly plan, my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan, and what have you. But when I evaluate Videgla 360, it's always in the unit of a daily basis and not the, hey, did I attain that goal? Did I, get to, my milestone that I wanted to?
Okay.
So,
you mentioned about podcasts and reading books and feeding your mind earlier. Are you listen more to podcasts or you read more? Which one?
I do both.
You
I
do
do
both.
both.
Okay.
I touch on, everything that does have good information, motivation, I would be going.
If Videgla has the power to make one positive change in the world right now, what would that be and why?
So I think of multi-generational impact.
Okay.
I think of creating communities that are vibrant.
Okay.
And so I guess that's a multifaceted question. But if I were to answer you with one thing, how do we build healthy communities? It's the power to build healthy communities all across the world, where those communities are vibrant, people feel like they belong, people feel like they have the power to contribute to the advancement of those communities. That would be it, without the absence of all the other things that we know that are plaguing that. So I really love the power of we, and I like to see that very magnified across the globe.
If Videgla used to be like an animal, what kind of animal would you be and why?
Oh, that's a good one. You know, some guy that I've met before called me Mufasa. I don't know why, but I'll say my animal it would be the lion.
A lion?
Yeah.
Why?
You know, I love the lion because they're not always the strongest. They're not the tallest.
Okay.
They're not the biggest.
Okay.
But they possess something
Okay.
that makes a difference in the whole animal kingdom, which is the attitude. They have an excellent attitude. Fearless, they can tackle any challenge. They say, bring it on. Whenever they see an elephant, they say, this is my lunch. Although the elephant is much bigger,
Yeah.
much stronger than that. So I'd say, yeah.
What would be your last tip, advice, word to my audience?
Follow your dreams. Because at the end of the day, it's not about dreaming big. Anybody can do that. Everybody can do that. But the question really is, how long can you dream big? Could you dream big after adversity? Could you dream big after you've taken the biggest setback in your life? How long are you going to dream big? So not just dream big, but keep that dream alive no matter what the season of life is.
Mr. Videgla Sekpe, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Marco.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for tuning to episode 69 with Videgla Sekpe. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you next time.